I swear to God, if I hear another one of you compare Need for Speed, The Crew, and Forza, I'm gonna scream. What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we're here for a bit of a commentary because I have something to get off my chest. So the other day, I actually tweeted this, and this is where the inspiration for this video came. I had something else planned for today. A little gameplay, you know what I'm saying? A little gameplay. I'm whipping it up. That's what that was supposed to be, like me whipping up the gameplay. But so essentially, the other day, I tweeted about people comparing The Crew to Forza and even Need for Speed and how it was stupid. I see this comparison being done a lot, and you know, I have, you know, in previous times, in a previous life, compared like games like Need for Speed to Forza, etc. And you know, that was back when I was stupid. Let's not talk about me when I was stupid. I want to talk about it for a bit because it's something which a lot of people do, and it's just unnecessary, and in some cases doesn't even make sense. So we're going to talk about why it doesn't make sense to compare these games, and then a lot of the misconceptions and things that people say which just don't make any sense. So let's go ahead and do this. Number one. Why is this bad? So let's talk about those three games that I just mentioned. Let's talk about Need for Speed, the underground illegal street racing game of, you know, the racing genre at the moment. It's the king of that niche. If you have any arguments with me, you can take it to my email. Link is in bio. Well, you'll just get ignored, bitch. We have Forza Horizon, which is the car dedicated festival. You know, it's all about the music, it's all about the cars, and it's all about, you know, having a good time. Casual, yes, but the car list is huge, and overall it's a game that is made for the casual audience, but it's very easy to pick up, hard to master. That has started to become a catchphrase on the channel. I fucking love it! Then we have The Crew 2, which is a celebration of motorsport, not only with cars but with bikes, planes, boats, and it's just a game that really is aiming to be a playground for you guys to play in. You know, I don't think Forza or Need for Speed are necessarily playgrounds. In The Crew 2, the whole of America is your oyster. How did I explain those three games then? This isn't scripted. That was all off the straight at the top of my head. I literally stuttered. I'm gonna have to edit one of the parts out because I kind of lost my train of thought. But the point is, when I went through all those three games, they have different use cases between the three games. Now, yes, there's some things which link over, like the physics, for example. You can judge the physics of both games and compare, say, Forza to The Crew. But even in doing that, because the games are so significantly different, the physics have to be different between the two. If Forza physics were in The Crew 2, it just wouldn't work. Just like if Need for Speed physics were like in any other game. And stuff like physics, and even in some regards, isn't really applicable because Forza doesn't have its own dedicated drift handling, as where The Crew 2 does. The Crew 2 pretty much goes into a different mode of handling when you're drifting. It doesn't have its own drag, you know, mode, unlike Need for Speed 2015 and The Crew 2 do. So I think in a lot of ways, yeah, you can cross over and talk about how the way the game feels, but depending on its use case, you want the game to feel different. I personally wouldn't want the Crew 2 to feel like Forza. Personally, I like how The Crew 2 feels, and I think it suits its open world. It does have a few issues here and there, but overall, it fits its use case. And that's another thing, target audience. Do you really think Need for Speed is aiming for the same target audience as The Crew 2? No. The Crew 2 is aiming for a completely different audience to what Need for Speed and the guys over at Ghost are aiming at. Need for Speed is clearly an underground illegal street racing game focused on licensed customization and having a living, breathing, underground street racing illegal, like, world. That is what Need for Speed is. It may have got lost in the sauce. It may have drowned. I'm drowning. But that's what it is. That's why this kind of annoys me when you say, oh, should I buy The Crew 2 or Forza? Because that's ridiculous. You wouldn't go into like a Call of Duty channel and ask, oh, should I buy Call of Duty, Rainbow Six, or Armor? One of which is a completely casual experience, the other, which is in the middle of both, and then you've got another, the one at the end being Armor, which is a complete simulator. You wouldn't pick that. It's like you wouldn't go into like a simulation setting and say, should I get Forza Gran Turismo or Assetto Corsa? Because that's like, it's just a pointless question. I don't know why racing games have this thing where like everything is judged and You know, compare this to this. You know, Forza has a great car list, and then the Crew has a smaller car list than Forza. How dare it? My counter to that would be the Crew 2 has literally got the biggest open world we've ever seen in a racing game. But then I'd say, like, well, Forza doesn't need that. Forza hasn't got boats, hasn't got planes. You know, there's no need for Forza to have a huge car list, and in fact, I don't really want to see a huge car list in Forza because I like the current size. I hope you can understand where I'm coming from when I'm saying this. Different games have different use cases, target audiences, unique selling points, and comparing these games and, you know, deciding whether you should get the Crew 2 or Forza, well, like, that really comes down to what type of gamer you are and what you want to play. Ever since I've been in this community, I've always seen these comparisons. I've never really understood it. You know, again, back in the day, I did make a few myself before I kind of realised, like, this is a bit stupid. But, like, it's one of those things, you won't ever see a comparison from me because it is literally pointless. Unless it's those things, like I mentioned, like physics, DLCs being free or paid, I don't even know what else. How many hours it takes to complete a campaign. Like, those are the things that you can write down on paper. But things that I play in games, and some of my most played games, in fact, aren't games that are necessarily good on paper. So it's one of those things, really, if you're struggling to decide to buy, say, Need for Speed, The Crew, or Horizon, the best thing you can do is try the games first. Whether that's at a friend's house, a free trial, whatever, the best way of deciding which game is best for you and your use case is to go ahead and play them. Look at gameplays on YouTube, you know, like look through gameplays, see if the game that you're seeing is the game that you want to play, and look through honest reviews on YouTube, not from the kind of big, you know, press companies like IGN and GameSpot, but look at people's like smaller YouTubers videos, ones that aren't, you know, aren't particularly influenced, I want to say. The smaller YouTubers give the best reviews, and that's coming from me. Like, I don't like to think I'm huge, nor do I think I'm small anymore, but at the same time, people that are a lot smaller than me do the best reviews, and I've seen people like that. You either get the YouTuber that's really excited and does completely overthinks, you know, oversees the bad points in the game, and that's excited small YouTuber number one, or you get the guy that's level-headed and comes through with an actual clear, you know, review of the game, and those people are the ones you want to be listening to. A lot of big people do as well, but obviously the bigger you get, the more influence you're going to have in the community and stuff, and that just leads to a whole different story. But that's just my little take on things. I wanted to say that because, you know, I've seen a lot of comments and shit about this, and I just think it's something important to share. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome day, safe, and peace.